I'm Abigail and I want to share a tale. My tale. At 16, my parents deliberately stranded me at a train station, not out of oversight or carelessness, but with intent. They aimed to school me in resilience, to test how swiftly I could navigate my way back. I didn't return. 2 decades later they tracked me down, not from longing or remorse but driven by necessity. Money, assistance, dominance. When I declined, they didn't settle for mere persuasion. They poisoned my relatives against me with falsehoods, seeking to dismantle all I'd created. The July sun pressed against me as I rested my head on the car window, drifting in a haze, my earbuds muting the drone of the road. Up front, my parents, Magnus and Celeste, squabbled over trivialities I'd long ceased to heed. The highway unfurled before us, slicing through Alabama's rural expanse. We'd just visited my elder sister, Vivian, at her university. A standard trip. Vivian acted as if all was well. Mom tossed subtle jabs about how I ought to emulate her, and Dad scarcely noticed us unless issuing commands. It was typical, another chapter in our family's saga, another trial to endure. As the car decelerated, I peered out, spotting a weathered train station beside the road, a forgotten vestige with rusted edges. Dad steered into the lot, halting near a pair of ancient vending machines. "Get me a soda," he grunted, eyes fixed ahead. I tugged my headphones off, bewildered. "What?" Mom swiveled, offering a tight-lipped grin that never warmed her gaze. "Fetch your father a drink, sweetie, and a water for me." I exhaled, shoving the door open. The heat slammed into me as I stepped onto the fractured asphalt. Resistance was futile. It never swayed them. The vending machines loomed by the station's entrance, their sun-bleached stickers curling at the edges. I fished a wrinkled $5 from my pocket, slid it into the slot and punched the buttons. The contraption wheezed, reluctantly dispensing a tepid soda and a water bottle. I turned, expecting the car idling where I'd left it. The lot was bare. My mind stalled, grappling with the sight. Perhaps they'd shifted elsewhere, just beyond view. I edged forward, breath hitching as I surveyed the vacant spaces. Then my phone vibrated, a message from Mom. *, let's see how long it takes you to get home. Think of this as a problem-solving exercise. *. My stomach plunged. This was no blunder, no prank, they ditched me. My trembling fingers dialed. It went straight to voicemail again and again, each attempt met with a lifeless tone. I stood rooted, clutching the soda until the plastic buckled, my pulse thundering over the faint wail of a train in the distance. They weren't returning. It should have jolted me, shattered me, but a strange stillness took hold. This wasn't their first stunt. At 13, they'd barred me outside during a tempest for neglecting the trash. At 14, they'd forced me to trudge 6 miles home in a downpour for missing the bus. This was merely another exercise, another warped proof of my expendability. I scanned the station. Scattered strangers milled about, indifferent to the 16-year-old clutching her wallet and a rising fury. I wouldn't linger for them, wouldn't indulge their charade. My pocket held $140, earnings from summer work. Meager but sufficient. The ticket counter's grizzled attendant barely glanced up. "Nearest bus station?" I asked, voice firm despite the storm within. He jerked a thumb. "Couple miles that way." I nodded, already striding off. My phone buzzed again. "Mom, *, don't you dare call your aunt. Your father says you sort this yourself." I blocked her number, then dialed the one they forbade. It rang twice. "Abigail." Aunt Marigold's voice steadied me. I swallowed. "Can you help me?" My tone held, though I was fracturing inside. "Where are you?" she pressed, concern sharpening her words. I gripped the phone, knuckles paling. "They left me at a train station, Marigold. Just drove off." Pause, then a gasp. "Stay put, sweetheart. I'm coming." That was 20 years past. Now I stood in my corner office at Haven Developments, my enterprise, gazing over Austin's skyline. The city pulsed below, vibrant, while my office harbored only me and echoes of yesterday. My phone glowed with 39 missed calls. I bypassed the unknowns, fixating on one. Vivian, a name absent from my life for decades. My gut churned as I tapped the first voicemail. "Abby, please answer. Mom and Dad found you. They need help." My fingers tightened. That nickname, that plea, like no time had passed. I exhaled, deleted it. The next was sobs. The third frantic. Abigail, please, you don't get it, they're desperate. Just talk to me. I set the phone down before I hurled it. They'd located me and I knew their game. I'd fled them 20 years ago with a bus ticket and a fierce will to endure. 3 jobs, a moldy studio, college by sheer grit. Every piece of haven was forged from the ruin they'd sown. Now as I tasted freedom they clawed back. I sat, hands quivering as I raked them through my hair. My reflection stayed poised but my thoughts raged. I'd foreseen this reckoning, just not so soon. I scrolled voicemails until Magnus Holloway, my father, stared back. I pressed play and his voice iced me over. Think you're above us now? He slurred, bitterness laced with liquor. We made you, Abigail. All you've got is ours. My jaw locked as he ranted. You can't scrub us out after all we gave. It cut off. A text followed. Asterisk, your father's disappointed, Abigail. We need to talk. Colus. Asterisk. I stared, chest constricting. Disappointed? They'd deserted me, vanished, and I'd let them down? Rage flared, unyielding, they hadn't evolved. I leaned back, fingers curling around my phone, swallowing the knot in my throat. That 16-year-old on the platform ached to roar, but I wasn't her anymore. I wasn't adrift, wasn't solitary, wouldn't flee. I texted Vivian. Tomorrow, Denny's on F5, 7 a.m. alone or not at all. I sent it, set my phone aside and faced the city. Tomorrow I'd meet my sister after 20 years, unafraid. I was at Denny's when Vivian arrived, her gaze darting anxiously. She looked familiar, same sharp cheekbones, taut shoulders, but time had etched weariness into her stance, faint creases framing her mouth. The flawless daughter, ever compliant, ever placating, now bore the weight of hidden burdens. Our eyes locked, neither stirred. Then she approached, tucking hair behind her ear. Hey, Abby. I sipped my coffee slowly. I'm not Abby. I'm Abigail. Her smile wavered. Right, sorry. She slid into the booth, fingers restless on the menu. It's been ages, she ventured. I watched, silent, awaiting her true intent. She sighed, abandoning the menu. You look well. I arched a brow. And you look tense. She laughed softly, joyless. Yeah, this is tricky. No, Viv, I leaned in. It's straightforward. You want something? Speak it. Her lips thinned, then she breathed out. Mom and Dad are struggling. He rushed on, practiced. Dad's lost heaps gambling, Mom's piled up debt. They're sinking, Abigail. The house is foreclosing. My jaw tightened. They need you, she pressed. I exhaled deliberately. I owe them nothing. Vivian flinched. I'm not asking forgiveness, she faltered. Just listen. My grip on the mug hardened. Had they heard me at 16 alone on that platform? Had they cared when I shivered in rain for their discipline? I leaned back, fury mingling with weariness. They didn't slip up, Viv. They ditched me on purpose. She winced. They came back an hour later. And whose fault was that? I snapped. Silence splintered between us, years of buried truths cracking open. Vivian blinked fast, hands twisting. They thought you'd return, that you'd crawl back. I finished. Like always. She stared at the table, breath shallow. I shook my head. I'm not their daughter, Vivian. Haven't been for years. Her shoulders shook, but I held firm. I pulled cash from my pocket, dropped it on the table. If they reach out again, I won't be kind. She stayed seated, eyes down as I left without a glance. Thought it was over. I was mistaken. Next morning I drowned in work, shoving Vivian's words aside. They'd soured my mood, but I wouldn't let them rule me. The past was done. I'd built something solid, untouchable, or so I believed. A sharp rap at my door broke my focus. Jenny, my assistant, stood there, face taut. You should see this. He handed me her phone, reluctant. I frowned, taking it. A Facebook post glowed. Our daughter deserted us in our old age after all we gave her. Another. We raised her strong, and this is her thanks, heartless. He crept up my neck. They'd cast themselves as martyrs, me the villain. Comments poured in hundreds, strangers vilifying me, disgraceful kid, ungrateful wretch. Hope she's alone forever. Money corrupts. I slammed the phone down. Jenny shifted. It's spreading. Clients see it. Some left bad reviews on Haven's page, calling you a fraud. My pulse hammered. This wasn't petty posts, it was an assault. I breathed deep, steadying my hands. Who knows? Staff some big clients, Jenny said. They're watching your move. I nodded. Thanks, Jenny. I'll manage. Alone, I dialed Vivin. He answered cautious. Abby. Did you know? Silence stretched. I told them no, but they're desperate. I laughed hollow. Desperate people don't ruin their kids. They just want help, she tried. By slandering me to strangers? No reply. I shook my head. I should have known they'd stay the same. I hung up. A text flared. Ungrateful brat, take that post down. I stared, a fierce calm settling. I posted. Asterisk some rewrite history to dodge blame. I won't let them. Asterisk I tossed my phone aside. Let them strike, I was ready. I thought posts were the worst. Then they stormed my office. A grueling week of damage control. Calming clients, monitoring social media, dodging kin with sudden opinions. Left me drained, running on coffee and resolve. My intercom buzzed. Abigail, Jenny hesitated. An elderly couple demands you. I froze, coffee turning sour. Names. They say they're your parents, she sighed. I forced calm. Say I'm in a meeting. Pause. They're causing a fuss. Of course. I set my cup down, strode to the lobby. There they were, Celeste in theatrics, dabbing dry eyes with a tissue, Magnus glowering, arms crossed. He spotted me, face crumpling. Pie baby, she wailed, drawing stares. Won't even speak to your mother? My jaw clenched. Phones emerged, recording. Magnus sneered. One of those people now, huh? Forgetting your roots. I didn't waver. Leave. Celeste sobbed, clutching her chest. I birthed you, Abigail, and you treat us like dirt. My fists balled. You're nothing to me. Gasps rippled. Silence, then Magnus roared. Your money doesn't make you better. Celeste sank to her knees, weeping. All we wanted was to talk, but you're so cruel. Murmurs spread. Some uneasy, some amused. I stepped closer, voice lethal. Leave or security will. Magnus advanced, low and toxic. You owe us. We built you. Celeste rose, eyes glinting coldly. You can't erase us, darling. You're ours. I turned to the guard. Escort them out. Magnus laughed bitterly. You'll regret this. Celeste smoothed her dress, murmuring, poor thing, too much cash, no soul. Their voices faded as security led them off. It wasn't over. Next day, a thick envelope landed on my desk via courier. A law firm. Jenny's brows knit. I tore it open, pulse racing. They were suing me, citing filial responsibility laws. I laughed, incredulous. The ones who ditched me at 16, ignored me for 20 years, now demanded I fund their failures. I dropped it, pinching my nose. Jenny lingered. You okay? Call David, I said. I need my lawyer. In David's office, the lawsuit sprawled across his desk. He scanned it, shaking his head. Weak case. Texas isn't strict on this, but publicity could harm you. I clenched my fist. Then we go public our way. He raised a brow. Sure. I nodded. I'm done defending. That night I wrote unfiltered. The train station, their abandonment, their greed. By morning it exploded online. Opinion flipped. Strangers raged for me. Cruel beyond words. Abandoning a child, then cashing in. Asterisk suing after that? Disgusting. Asterisk they'd lost the story. 3 days later Vivin called, voice faint. They've lost it all, Abby. I sat in my car eyeing the skyline. They're doing. She trembled. They blame you. I gripped the wheel. No, Vivian, it's on them. Every step. She didn't fight. A week later I passed my old home. A for sale sign in the yard, smaller, lifeless. No triumph came, just relief. They held no sway. I was free, no weight, no fear. On my balcony, Austin glowed in dusk, a breeze grazing me as I sipped wine. Peace settled until a knock. Vivin stood there, eyes puffy. Abby, please. I didn't budge. They've got nowhere, she whispered. Dad's drinking worse, Mom begs for one more shot. They're still family. My grip on the door tightened. They chose this, I said. Her face broke. How can you be so cold? I cut in. Selfish. Tears fell. I don't want to lose you. My throat caught. You didn't. They did. She sobbed, wiping her face. They need. I shook my head. I don't fix their mess. He slumped. I stepped back. Take care, Viv. I shut the door, guiltless. Later, on my balcony, silence reigned, beautiful, unburdened. I texted Aunt Marigold. Dinner this weekend, my treat. She replied, asterisk finally. Mexican or Italian? Asterisk. I smiled. Mexican, extra margaritas. I blocked my parents' numbers. No more chances, no guilt. I was home free. Before I close, consider this. I bore a past I didn't choose, shaped by guilt and fear of seeming ungrateful. But family isn't blood, it's who stands by you. When those meant to love us wound us deepest, you can let it define you or release it. Walking away isn't weakness, it's strength. Boundaries aren't harsh, they're survival. Choosing yourself after being diminished is freedom. If you felt shame for picking peace over poison, know this. You don't owe pain to anyone, kin or not. You deserve liberty. Tell me, have you severed a toxic tie? How did it shape you? Comment 1 if this hit home or say where you're from. If it didn't land, explain why. I value all views. If this stirred you, subscribe for more stories. Your support fuels me. Until next time, choose yourself. Always.